I'm a native Oklahoman. Was one of three boys and one girl in my family. Both of my brothers wrestled ahead of me. I was the youngest. I wrestled a little bit in junior college and started officiating while I was in college. My dad was just enamored with the sport. It wasn't offered where he grew up, and he took up officiating when we were in our teen years. And my dad and I, my first event that I ever officiated, I did with my father. I think my first state tournament in Oklahoma was 1981 or 82, and did that for a number of years. And a fellow official, Bobby Walton, he said, "Pat, you should be doing some college officiating." And he invited me to go with him to a tournament in St. Louis and one in Tampa, Florida. I saw someone I knew from here in Oklahoma. Eddie Griffin was the coach at Clemson University back then. And Eddie thought I did a decent job and asked me if I would be interested in doing any officiating in the ACC, which of course I was. And the next year I got to do their championships. And just kind of grew up refereeing a lot of top 5 schools, and it just can't help but make you a better official. I've gotten to see just in my mind, the best wrestling there is at such a great level at so many places around the country that I would have not had a reason to go to otherwise. I've been fortunate enough to do the ACC championships 6 years, the Big Ten championships for 17 years, the Pac-10s, I believe, for 12 years. This last year was my 21st NCAA Division I championship. I've done 3 or 4 NCAA Division II championships. I also have been, for the last number of years, Vice President of the National Wrestling Official Association. In thinking about memorable matches, of course, since it's so fresh in my mind, the Dake and Taylor match from this last year's championships is probably very memorable. Just the magnitude of the build-up to it, and just the quality of those kids and their wrestling ability was just such a great match to be a part of, and I was very honored to be asked to do it.
Pat Fitzgerald is one of the best referees in this country for lots of reasons, but the main one is that he has the uncanny ability to make decisions in fractions of seconds and to get it right almost every single time.
You know, officiating is such an enjoyable thing to me, and I have just learned from so many guys that I've worked with over the years, and you kind of develop your philosophy of officiating probably from the people that you get to work with. But there's been a bunch of great guys over the years. Dave Frisch, Mike Allen, Chuck Yagla, Mike McCormick, Daryl Henry, Freddie Ambrose, and a guy that I referee with a lot now, Kenny Ritchie. We travel a lot together now, and people don't realize how much we bounce things off each other as officials. Of course, a popular saying or a thing you like to believe is the best official is invisible. I firmly believe that the show is those two guys that have worked so hard to get where they are. I try to be just there to keep order and award points. I believe that any official, when you put the whistle on, you better be prepared to take a little bit of heat. I think taking some heat actually makes a better official. I really feel that until you've been in a situation where you're catching it from a lot of different directions, that proves that you can handle it, make the calls that are needed to be made, and still keep decorum as it should be. You know, I'm really fortunate to have a family that's supportive of my officiating. Karen and I were married on December 18th, 1993. She has been incredibly supportive. I have two daughters. My daughter Allie is in 8th grade and Marley is a 10th grader this year. Just really fortunate to have a family that backs me as they do. I have so much respect for the men who have given their lives to wrestling and will never be in the Hall of Fame. And here I am getting noticed for my contribution to officiating. It's such an honor, and it just means the world to me.